17th person voted out of Zoomvivor Anarchy and the final member of our jury. Jet. Jet, this vote that is 2. That is enough. Any final words for the tribe?
Thank you guys so much for the experience. Love you all. Good luck. Good luck to whoever wins.
Congratulations, Jet. You played a great game. For someone who doesn't have any knowledge about the game, you sure played to the best that you can. And you should be proud of that. Congratulations again, Jet.
Thank you.
And the tribe has spoken.
You okay, Mads?
Alright, final 3. Congratulations, guys. This is now your chance to prove to the jury that you deserve to win.
You know what? At the moment, I'm tired. I'm very, very tired, but it is the good kind of tired because I know that I gave my all to get here and I couldn't. I'm just so happy that I'm sitting here with the 2 people that I've been working with since day 1. So there is a level, of course, there's a level of physical and mental and emotional weariness and exhaustion. But at the same time, my heart is beating so fast because of happiness. Because I came here on day 0 with a plan. Day 1, I found my people. And day 39, we're here. So that deserves a pat on the back. Not just for me, but for the 3 of us. So yeah. God, I came in thinking that everything that I'm going to do should be devoid of any emotions and it should be just, game basically. And as for the most part of it, that's what I did. And that's the first time that I actually did it like that. Calling myself the murderess is basically me reminding myself that at the end of the day, in everything that I do in this game, emotions should take a back seat. Especially when you look at the players in it, there will be connections there. The thing is, I am quite, oh God, this might sound so arrogant, but I am quite popular in the Filipino org community. So that means it is unavoidable that I am connected to a lot of people. And I understand too that some people actually look up to me and I am very honored about that. Some people hate me and that's okay too. So that means I have to make sure that my heart doesn't get hold of my head when I'm making decisions. Hence, it's basically just murder. And looking back, I feel like I killed it. Ching. I feel like I killed it because, I did what I had to do. And my hands were bloody and I made sure that people saw that my hands are bloody. If you are going to commit murder, make sure that you confess. Because sometimes people might actually just understand why you did what you had to do. So, yeah, I guess I'm happy that I did well. I'm happy that I made it at the end. If I get rewarded for it, yay, thank you. If I don't get rewarded for it, then maybe it's not the game that fits my personality. And the next time I try it, maybe I'm gonna have to change up my game. You just have to react to just have to react to how people perceive your game. That's how you play Survivor anyway. So yeah, that's it.
Alright, thank you, Rain. How about you, Stan?
I'm really hungry. I'm hungry for sleep. I'm hungry for food, but I'm hungriest for the win. And I've waited a very long time to get to a position where I can argue my game in front of a jury. And I know I have an uphill battle, but it's a battle I will not back down from. I got myself in this position and I'm going to own every single part of it. criticism be damned. I know a lot of people are gonna hate seeing me here, and I don't give a fuck what they have to say. They can bring it and they can shower me with hate as much as they want. I'm gonna welcome it because I'm here and they're not. I called myself the spoiler because I think that's really how I ended up playing the game, where I really just got in the way of everybody's plans. Like, Karen wanted to use the chaos advantage to fuck shit up and hope that someone else would get the boot because she was afraid that people would try people would still try to go after her. And it kind of backfired because I wasn't, it kind of backfired because I stayed in the game, and then there was a double tribal after that. I was a spoiler for the people on my OG Mata tribe, or my post swap Mata tribe rather. People like Kristen, who relied on me staying in the game, I guess. I was a spoiler for Gage and Garrett, and I could tell from the way they handed my ass to me at Final Tribal Council that I really spoiled their plans. I was a spoiler for Lee because I think he was calling out to me at 11 to make the flip with them, but I didn't. So I revel in the fact that I ruin other people's plans because I don't care about your plan. I care about my plan. I care about making it to the end on my own, and I care about winning however I can. And if that means I have to bury your game in the process or make you look like shit, then so be it.
Okay, thank you, Stan. Mads, how are you feeling right now?
It's being here is not what I expected because my plan is really I really did not expect. I mean, I've been in a lot of games, and most of the times, even though I really try to push for the FTC. It's a really tough position to achieve. So I agree. Props to the three of us here for making sa FTC. It's not an easy journey to be here, especially with all the um, uncertain situations that we've been in the game. How do I feel right now? Seriously, it, well, nakakapagod. Pwede ba mag-Tagalog?
Yes, I can put subs. Don't worry.
Nakakapagod. Nakakapagod maglaro. Nakakapagod siya kasi emotional and then physical exhaustion. Physically exhausting siya. Kasi puyat, diba? But fulfilling yung maging part ng FTC because I did not expect that my gameplay would take me here. Well, ano siya as in kung anong trip kong gawin kasi wala na akong pinahawakan. I'm a new person to be here. So, okay, gusto kong tanggalin to. Sige, go. So, I did not expect na matatanggal talaga yung mga bet kong mga matanggal sa game. So, at least that manifested and I'm here. So, I did not see how that would come into picture, but I'm happy to be here with the good players in this game.
So being the loyalist that I am, I was able to really translate it, not only from the start of the game, but definitely until the end of the game. I did not expect it actually to be very, to be very. I did not expect it to translate that way. I expected someone would flip in the middle of the game or during the merge, early on in the merge. But I think they also realize that what I'm saying is actually beneficial for their game. What's beneficial for me is also very good for them. That's why the people I targeted to work with actually translated the plan into action, and so that the loyalist strategy that I had in mind worked out until the end of the journey.
Okay. Right. Thank you guys so much. Now we will bring in the jury to start our final tribal. Once again, good luck to the three of you. And Yeah, that's all I have to say. Thank you for giving me such a great season.
Thanks, James.
Oh, please, James.
Okay.
James, you wanted this.
Yeah, I partly wanted to, but I didn't expect it to be this intense. So yeah. All right, good luck guys. We'll now bring in the members of the jury.
The winner of this game is never decided by the people who are in the final three. The best player, the winner, will be decided by the jury. So that means it's all about what they think is best, and the winner will be defined by their um, criteria. If I don't fit their criteria, I'm not going to win, and that is fine. It doesn't dull my shine. It doesn't make me a loser, but it's just people who are picking who they feel is better, and that's fine.
I'm going to answer this the way I used to answer my college professors at the start of the semester whenever they'd ask for my expectations from the course, from the professor, and from myself. And I would always be the wise ass who would say, I've got no expectations. I would rather be pleasantly surprised than have an expectation set and have it not met and then be disappointed.
I will win Zoomvivor Anarchy because it's just right. It fits. It is the story that is meant to be told. No other ending is acceptable. I mean, I worked hard. I won as many challenges as I can. No one even targeted me. My name was never on the parchment, and everybody pretty much followed my orders. I will win Zoomvivor Anarchy because this is my crowning moment. No one should be able to take this away from me. I deserve it.
Actually, so for this game, it's a new environment, playing it live. But I believe I did the very best that I can do. With the challenges, especially the social aspect of the game. Um, with the endurance of just playing and just staying. So, with the effort and the strength I gave, with my gameplay being planning ahead, sharing the vision with people I want to work with.
And if it's going to be Mads, they picked someone who actually started the alliance that dismantled all other alliances, and I'll be happy about that because she is a cool chick.
Hey, my plan stick out and it happened, and I'm really happy with that. I don't need to win the game. I'm happy with the game that I played, and I am happy thought that what I envisioned translated, and they see that as well. Um, just that, card that I played, and I'm satisfied with it already.
They vote for Stan to win, then bakit? Sorry. They vote for Stan to win. Maybe they just respect a better social game, or maybe they just find him better, or maybe he did some things that I never did, and that's fine too. At the end of the day, whoever wins this game deserves to win this game. That's how I feel. But for me, I think no, wait. I know I deserve to win this game. That's all.
But if there is a non-zero chance that things go my way and that I was able to convince those jurors that I played the better game by being the under-the-radar sneaky player who really capitalized on information and misinformation and moved with it, then that's a W I'll happily take.
Hello everyone, welcome to Final Tribal. We now bring in our members of the jury with Jet. Jet voted out last tribal and our final member of the jury. Alright, this is how it's gonna go. Final three will say their opening statements, and after which the jury will have a chance to talk and say their statements as well, or any questions that might help them decide who to vote for. After which we go with closing statements, and then the jury will vote for a winner. All right, jury. Remember, please do not. Please keep your questions concise. Okay. And yeah, good luck to the final three. Let's start with opening statements with Rain.
All right, guys. First, I just want to say thank you for an awesome game. Whatever happened here, it is. If we put on a good show, it's because of all of us. So I want to say thank you first for the experience, and secondly, I want to start with stats. I won the most immunity challenges. I found 2 idols and played them, which I found out I never really needed, and no votes were cast against me. Just by that, I could tell you that I played an awesome game, I believe. Whether it's on the social front, because that pretty much tells you that I wasn't targeted, or I can find some safety in this game. But I cannot sit here and tell you that I played a perfect game. I mean, no regrets is FTC talk. Come on, I have to sit here knowing where my strengths are, and at the same time recognizing where I could have been better. And I'm happy that we have this final tribal council, because I am welcoming all the questions, and that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna put it out there that I feel like between Mad Stan and myself, I never shied away from any moves. I was always gung-ho and upfront, and you play this game, you plan to win, but there really isn't the perfect recipe to get to the end. So yeah, along the way you will make mistakes, but the good players get to the end. The best players can actually correct those mistakes along the way, and I felt like I did that. Thank you.
Right. Next up, we go to Mads.
Hi guys. So good morning. Because it's already morning here in the Philippines. Good morning to everyone, and thank you so much for an amazing experience. It's my first time to join something as intense as this one, and it's really fulfilling. And I will never. I mean, like it will be a remarkable experience to have played, especially with the OG chaos that we pulled off a lot of tricks right there before and even after the merge. And at the same time, I know that you have not, maybe you think that, oh, well, she's not targeted because she's not really doing anything. She's not winning challenges. I know, I'm not winning challenges. I did not intend to win challenges until after I'm sure that I cannot be targeted along the way. I played games wherein when I showed what I want to do, I'm immediately targeted right up front. So for this time, I tried to do something different. There was the tribal accounts, the immunity challenge, where when we're always head to head. It was a good run, definitely, but I myself played a social game with people I really want to work with, and I know my gameplay from the start, from the day one that we step for this game. I know what I want to do. I stick with it. I stick with the people that I want to work with, and now we're here. So I can pretty much say that gameplay has definitely worked for me. But most importantly, I think what kept me going is the reason why I joined here in the first place, which is to give back to the sector that I hope I can share something with, which is for the jeepney drivers here in the Philippines. And even though I won't win, I know that these players with me in the final tribal council and this and the production of the Zoomvivor as a whole will continue doing something good, not only for the people who are inspiring and challenging enough to join this game, but most importantly, will do something good for the community that we choose to serve. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mads. Now we go to Stan.
Hey everyone, I can't start talking here at Final Tribal Council without acknowledging the role that all of you played in the game and in the journey that got us here. So I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you for your part in this game. I had a plan heading into this game, and that was to align myself with one strong, solid ally, and that was Rain. We aligned ourselves and put ourselves in very good positions to be in multiple alliances where we knew we could control the votes, where we knew we would be the swing votes and could dictate whatever direction that the game was going to go in moving forward. And I purposefully fed ideas behind closed doors. I would always feed them in terms of questions and trying to see where people's heads were at instead of dictating things, because I didn't want to be seen as the biggest threat. And when I saw that Rain was emerging as the biggest threat, I let her take the lead. I let her look like the leader. I let her look like the dominant person, because if she was going to take all the heat, then that's heat that wasn't going to be on me. I wasn't even supposed to get here. I was supposed to be out 3rd or 4th round, but I made an impulsive decision through the single mutiny to get myself in a better position. Was that impulsive? Yes. But was that calculated? Hell yes, because I knew that the people I was strong with were all on the other side, and I could put myself in a better position to advance. I wasn't supposed to make it past the 3rd round of the post-merge because I was rocked out, but I got myself out of it because I got myself the tyranny advantage. And nobody knew that I had the tyranny advantage, which saved my ass when I had absolutely no way out. The thing about this game is that Rain can give you stats about idols and advantages and challenge wins, but I have something that's equally good, and that's good relationships, because that leads to information. Rain fed me the information about her advantages, so I knew that she had the idol all the way until Final 5. I knew she had 2. I was talking to Karen from post-merge onward, and Karen was feeding me information from both sides. Garrett and Gage were very, very instrumental in getting me to this point, because if Garrett and Gage hadn't opened up with me and built this relationship with me, I wouldn't have known that they were struggling to find the idols that Rain already had. And that's what confirmed it for me, that Rain had the treasure trove of advantages. It's those different relationships, even relationships with Jet and with Mads towards the end. I had the information from Mads that she wanted out, that she didn't want to make it to Final Tribal Council. And I used that to get myself here, because I knew that Rain was gonna put a vote on me. So that was 1 vote. I knew that Jet wanted Mads out. I knew that Mad wanted Jet out. So I was a swing vote at the Final 4. I dictated my destiny. I dictated my fate, and I got myself here by voting Jet out, because I knew that he's a therapist in training and could talk to all of you and and put himself in a better position. What separates me from someone like Rain and someone like Mads is that even though I didn't have control all throughout the game, I was able to have control when it mattered. I controlled my destiny through the mutiny. I controlled my destiny through the tyranny advantage. I controlled my destiny at Final 5 when I won immunity, and I took Karen out and blindsided Rain for the first time in this game. She didn't have control there. And finally at Final 4, I orchestrated that 2-1-1, which is so rare to do in this game. So yes, I reduced my threat level. I made myself look impulsive, but that was all by design. And that was because I knew I wanted to get here on my own merit. And I hope that you could appreciate that. And if you have any questions along the way, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
All right. Thank you so much, the final 3, for opening statements. Now we go to the jury. Jury, if you have questions, now is the time to ask. I will call each jury member one by one. And from there, you're free to say what you want to say or want to ask to the top 3. We'll start with Lee.
All right. First, I'd like to say, do not interrupt me. If anyone on the jury catches you lying, you're not getting my vote, and they're going to call you out. Okay. Mads, you're right when you're saying you're not good at the challenges, but there is something you are good at: sleeping. You felt secure the whole time and didn't even play the game. It's just straight disrespectful.
Oh,
Stan, do not interrupt me. Stan, you didn't. This is the first time I heard your voice. Like, literally never heard your voice before. until tonight. You should have gone home. You were rocked out, and stop with the "thank you for getting me here. I wouldn't be here without you." It's BS. Just be honest. Shoot straight. Don't be like, "Oh, thank you so much." No, you stop with that right now. Lastly, Rain, you control puppets, not people. You chose people who you knew were not going to make a move. So congrats for that, but it's not as impressive as you may say it is. That's what I'm going to say. Please do not respond. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Lee. Now we go to Garrett.
Okay, I'm gonna be straight up. I didn't plan on asking a question. I mean, my vote is probably decided, but one of your speeches did prompt one. Firstly, Mads, anybody who's saying you didn't play the game at all is definitely wrong. I definitely saw what you're doing pre-merge, and it definitely fucked me over a little bit. So shout out for that. But also, you never gave me the time of day in this game, so I feel like I shouldn't give it back to you now. Stan, Rain, Eye of the Storm, shout out. But Stan, Gage and I told you time and time again, you can't sit next to Rain in the end or you're done. So we told you time and time again, we gave you chance and chance to change that narrative. You knew she had an idol and you let her sit at Final 5 with it. So for me, maybe I'm missing something, but why should I respect that at all? But yeah, you made a decision at Final 4, but too little too late, she had immunity. You could have made a chance. You could have made a move at 11. You could have waited, done what we were gonna do, and made a move at 9. You could have done anything else, so why should I respect that you were, don't get me wrong, I'm a dog person, but I feel like you were Rain's lapdog.
Can I answer now? Okay. At 11, Lee actually called out an alliance that didn't include my name. So at that point, alarm bells were ringing in my head, and I felt like I had to make a move, and I had to make a choice between you and Gage, and Karen and Jet and Mads and all of them. And I made that choice, and I'm going to own up to it. I don't regret that at all. And you talk about shoulda, woulda, coulda, and you imply that I have to regret the moves that I did or the lack of moves that I did to get me to this point. And yeah, having Rain there with an idol definitely doesn't work in my favor. But I did the best I could with the situation I was dealt. I couldn't get Rain out. And even when I asked you and Gage, especially Gage, time and time again, how could we get Rain out? Even Lauren, when Lauren would come up to me, how can we get Rain out? They couldn't give me the numbers. I had to find a way to get the numbers over to the other side. And the one reason that I couldn't get there was because they just couldn't give me the numbers to make the flip. So that was the biggest problem. And you're putting the blame on me when you really just weren't in a position to take Rain out. So I had to put that in my own hands at Final 5. And then she had an idol that she was able to play for herself. So at 4, I tried my damnedest to win that final immunity because I wanted that to be the spot where I could take Rain out. Instead, I got myself here anyway, on my own merit.
All right, I got you. I fully respect what you're saying. I also realize I did come on a little strong. I do still love you as a person. I love our chats, all that. I did not want to do that, but also I did have that issue with it, so I did want to say that. Rain played a hell of a game. Shout out.
Thanks, Garrett.
Okay, thank you so much, Garrett. Now we go to Anthony.
Let me just, everything I say, let me just start it with, you guys went a lot further than me, so you guys played a better game than I did. But, I just have a little bit of couple comments. Lee took a few of my comments, but that's okay. I think we share some of the same, views. Mads, I just want to ask you, because I haven't talked to you or anything all game. Yesterday, did you take a nap during the game? I just want to know if that's true or not.
Oh, during the around 2 a.m. here, no, I wasn't taking a nap purposely for the game because obviously who would plan that? But as a person, I never planned to do that. But I would say that during the break, yes, I took a nap and I overslept. But on that point, I would just like to clarify. It wasn't easy for all of us here. So I understand how all the other players are trying to do their best on that part. I mean, for most of us who really don't do that, it's an extra step to do. It's an extra step to take. For those who are waking up in or early in the morning, it's an extra effort to do. So
Right. We all had that extra effort. I just thought it was a little disrespectful to people that are trying to fight and claw in the game. Like I know at that time, Melissa just got sent over there, and she was probably trying to fight to stay, and then people were sleeping. That's what we heard on the jury, and I just wanted to ask you up front if that was true. That's all. Stan, I know. I guess from a few people's viewpoint, including mine, the mutiny, the jumping ship, you kind of say it was strategic and all that, and it worked out well for you. But, you know, actions have consequences as well. From what some people's views, we thought it was like, you know, a dog with his tail tucked between his legs. Didn't want to stay and play, wanted to run and go to safety with rain. You left Kristen and you left Karen high and dry over there. You also made it harder for Melissa, who was trying to gain traction over there. So, not saying it was a bad move because it worked out for you, but you have to also see how it looks to us Americans. And the way I say that Americans is because had we known it was going to come in to, it was Filipinos versus Americans, we would have probably already all played a different game. So we were kind of disappointed to hear that. As far as you saving yourself with the tyranny advantage, that tyranny advantage was bullcrap. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, in Survivor, when you go to rocks, it is final. There's no advantage for that. I actually had to ask James about it. Did your advantage say, or you go to rocks? Was it written on there? I'm curious. You don't have to answer that. That's between you and...
I'll answer it happily. I actually confirmed with James. Do I have to wait until after rocks are pulled for me to play this advantage? And he said you can wait until after the rocks have been pulled. So now you're blaming me for a game mechanism that I had no hand in.
Wait a minute. I just asked you, was it written on there on the advantage? That's all I asked you. Was it written on there?
It was not written, but I had to have it clarified by James.
Okay, and James told us that. Okay, but you got to understand, people that are fighting and clawing in the game that had the balls to go to rocks, that advantage should not have applied. That's
again,
just
Anthony, you're blaming me for a game mechanism that the producers put in. I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I'm going to take accountability for the consequences of my actions.
You tooted your own horn about how that was such a great move. And it worked out for you because you got to stay. But at the same time, in Survivor, Real Survivor, Survivor Australia, rocks is final. So that's all I got to say about that part.
I get that, Anthony. I understand.
So as far as rain, I think
you had no control over.
To kind of mimic what Lee said, you were controlling everybody on your side. You were controlling people on the old Mata side. So, you know, with Karen and Boris. But I believe most of the people you were controlling were puppets. It just, Metallica kept coming to mind. Master of Puppets, Master of Puppets, Master of Puppets. That's not your fault. You're dealing with the people that were there. And Stan, last thing I'm going to say, if Garrett told you, if you're sitting in the finals with Rain, you will not win, and you had chances to take her out with Garrett, Gage, Melissa, Lauren, Lee, anybody, Karen, anybody, and you didn't do it, that's a mistake. That's all I have to say, but good game, guys.
Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks, Anthony.
All right, thank you so much, Anthony. Now we go to Missy.
Okay, so I don't really have any questions per se. I just kind of have a statement. My vote is already decided. I've had nice conversations, in-depth conversations with two of you. and I really enjoyed them, and I do hope they continue after the game. One I didn't talk to at all, but my vote is going to go to the person who I never would have voted out of this game, because that's really impressive to me. Never would have voted them out, and they never lied to me. So that is where my vote was going to go. That's all.
All right. Thank you so much, Missy, for that statement. Now we go to our next member of the jury, which is Boris.
Hi, Final Three. Before I begin with my statements, I'd just like to say that no one gets into Final Three by pure accident. So you guys placed yourself there. You played games that were great enough to have a seat at the Final Tribal Council. So props to you for that. That being said, this is the Final Tribal Council, so I have some statements and a question. So let's begin with Mads. So with Mads, yes, a lot of people have said a lot of things about your game, most of them good in the jury. But yeah, like what Garrett has said, you didn't give me the time of the day, so I won't give my time of the day to you. And I'd also like to call you out on what you said during one tribal council at Final 7. You don't like, I don't like, and I quote, I don't like people who are flaky and don't do what they want to do. That's what you said, unquote. After freaking blindsiding me on Final 12, what gives you the audacity to make such a claim?
First of all, okay, I would like to
Wait,
clarify.
I don't need you to respond. This is just a statement. For Stan, you are probably the best speaker out of this Final 3. That I can give you props for. But I also practice in public speaking, so our sales pitch is not going to work on me. As a super fan of the game, and I know you're a super fan because we're both members of a lot of Filipino survivor groups. I just don't see the logic of you letting yourself sit with your meat shield in this final tribal council. And you were saying that Jet was the best person to cut at Final 4 because Jet was a therapist and he could out-talk people in Final Tribal Council. That just shows that you were not aware that Jet had zero connections with most of the jury, and he would have actually been the perfect person to sit with here at Final Tribal Council. If you had as good of a connection as you claim to have with the members of the jury, you would have known that. It's basic knowledge to every one of us. And I only have a question really for Rain, the person I haven't had given a statement with. So with Rain, yeah, I've already told people that I've already known you since, even way before this game started. You were one of the people who welcomed me in our Filipino org community. That I'm always going to be thankful for. And gameplay-wise this season, you have said it yourself, and I think everyone here in the jury knows that your gameplay was stellar. So gameplay-wise, I don't have any questions, but this one will hit a bit personal. I pride myself as a player who usually separates gameplay and friendships in this game, and humanity, of course, since this is just a game. It's not something that's natural. It's something that's an artificial construct, which forces us to vote each other off. At one point during this merge phase, there was a moment when you felt that you were alone and very vulnerable. I know you know this moment, and I approached you. When I approached you, it was something that was an out of game context because I knew it was something that was hurting you, and I didn't want to bring game into it because it's something that really meant a lot to you, and I saw that it really affected you. And that's when I told you, Rain, no worries, I'm here for you in Filipino. And what happened? Immediately after, you voted me off. And I'm going to be lying if I say that didn't hurt me. So now my question for you is, by doing this, by voting off immediately one person who consoled you, what does this say about you as a person?
What it says about me is I'm still me, and the thing is, Boris, I didn't vote you out. I never wrote your name down. I was blindsided when you were out. Because when I told you that I was going to protect you, that was the variable in my game that I knew was gonna fuck up my game. Because you're right, we have a connection outside of this game, and you are not a part of my clan. The plan was always Gage, Garrett, Christine, Stan, and myself. That was the original plan. And then you came along and you told me all of these things about your old tribe. And then I saw that as a friend, and I also saw that as a player. I saw you as a person at the bottom of the alliance, and I told myself, okay, this is number for me. And then I told myself, I'm going to complicate my game, but that's a problem that I'm going to deal with later on. Because the truth is, you really can't have a definite plan of going to the end. But I took on that responsibility because I saw an option for us. But when you got voted out, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, Boris, a problem for me was solved by somebody else. I didn't know who voted for you not until after you've gone. That's when Leela told me that it was her who actually wrote your name down. I was as blindsided as you are. And I was, of course, hurt and my game was compromised because, oh my God, I have no control over this. What is going on? That's how I felt. But then again, I understand that you and I are both fans and we can move on from that. But if you feel like, and I just want to say, Boris, I want to say thank you. Because when I was at my weakest, I needed somebody to be strong and you were there. So I appreciate that. And yeah, you are right. I can see that when you left our group chat and you said scripted because you never, I guess there was some bitterness there. I would tell you right now that I didn't write your name down. I was blindsided, but I heard your name, and I told you that your name was being floated. So I may be good at this game, but I cannot have total control of everything. There are things that I couldn't stop, but those situations I could react to, and I reacted by taking back the numbers. So I'm sorry if you felt, or if I gave any, I don't know, if I made it look like that I betrayed you, but I didn't. That's all I have to say about that.
Can I just chime in here really quickly?
Yes. I don't know about James. If that's
Sure.
Okay. Rain, earlier you said that the only vote you didn't know about was the Karen vote, but now you're saying you didn't know about the Boris vote.
Well, yeah, technically I didn't know that it was gonna be gonna happen, but
You
I
said
was.
you were blindsided.
Yeah. Yes. Let me just rephrase that. I was told that the name was floated, and I knew that it was a possibility, and I told Boris about this. And then when it happened, I was blindsided, yes. I'm sorry if I didn't phrase that correctly.
Okay.
But it isn't on the same level of as the Karen vote, because that I was totally blind. I didn't know about that at all. Karen's name wasn't even floated to me. I guess that is my definition of a blindside me. Because with the Boris vote, it was floated to me, but with the Karen's vote, I didn't know at all.
Gotcha.
Okay. So your answer is actually as I expected. End of scene, James.
All right. Thank you so much, Boris. Okay. Now we go to our next member of the jury, Leela.
Hello. I have two questions, and the first one is, so when I was voted out in my tribal council, what did you feel? Because I think I've pretty much told the people, almost most of you, what was the gameplay that I was trying to go forward with, and that was actually trying to save Gage and to kick out Karen at that point, because I know for a fact that it's really not gonna look good if we're gonna vote out the only American left in the game. And I also didn't think it was fair that they were really blindsided by that fact. So after that, what did you think? Did you try to change your gameplay at some point, or did you just really stick to whatever gameplay that you were trying to do? And just what are your thoughts about that when I got voted out?
Well,
For everyone.
Okay. Well, let me just first say that blindsides are always fair to me because this is still Survivor. And secondly, let me just tell you, Leela, that the reason why I rallied to vote you out because you, to me, was the most dangerous player left in our alliance, simply because you were already thinking about who the votes you are trying to get. What I'm not sure if you are very very versed about Survivor, but what you were doing was very perfect jury management. And at that time, that was something that I wasn't doing very well, I felt. So that to me is one player that's better than me. I remember that you approached me and you told me that you can never ever vote Lauren. And you told me that you wanted to save Gage. And then I asked you why. And you said, because I wanted it to look good to the people who are in the jury. To me, that is a good player. And that means you are a threat to my game. So I had to do what I had to do because you are that good. That's how I saw it. And if your question is, did I change my game during after you voted out? What I could tell you is I changed my game every round. I mean, I just have to because I cannot predict what other people are going to do. I cannot predict if Lauren is going to win immunity. I could not predict if Gage is going to flip on me. I could not predict everything. But what I do is after every tribal council, I sit down, I relax. If you see me walking out of the screen every time after tribal council, I go out for a smoke and think about what just happened. And then I have to react to that. That is what I do. So yes, my game changes from round to round because your game changes every round. On one point, you're going to target Karen, and the next time you're going to target Garrett. So I need to know how to position myself in every situation, in every permutation, because that is, to me, what Survivor is. You just react to how everyone's doing it, and then you go day by day. But of course, there's always a long-term goal, but to get there, there will be pit stops, there will be detours, there will be restroom breaks, there will be a lot of things. But, just never lose your eye on the destination. But yeah, to me, you're dangerous. You actually reminded me of jury management. I told myself, I don't have that well. So I had to let you go. Thank you, Leela.
I'll go next if that's okay. Leela, I knew that you were the one who flipped on Boris as well. And that was the first red flag that I knew that you were someone to watch out for. And then I also knew that you were tight with Lauren. And I knew that as soon as Rain and the others had decided to flip from Garrett and Gage, that was going to be a hindrance to me because you had your loyalties to other people. Now, I'm going to say that I'm very well aware and I'm trying my best to be self-aware of the optics of what happened in the game, and it's ugly. And I didn't come into this game saying I want to take out all the American people and vote them all out one by one, because that's in poor taste. But I'm going to say that it was a reaction. And I will agree that to be able to survive in this game, you have to be flexible enough to adapt to the circumstances you've been dealt. And for me, the biggest trigger really was when Lee called out all the people that all the people's names in which I wasn't part. And I realized that if I'm not in this group's plans, then I can't keep them in my plans. And that's when the alarm bell started going off. So that I guess that's the answer to the question on optics, because I really have to acknowledge that as ugly as it is, it has to be acknowledged. I'm going to own my part in it, even though it wasn't pretty. It's what got me here, and I can't say that I can't say that I took delight in it. It was something I had to do to advance in the game. As for you specifically, Leela, I also saw that you were very, very adept at just making yourself non-threatening and not letting your cover get blown. And I knew that I had to take you out and get you out before you could see that that was also my gameplay and that you could pull that on me. So that's why I was very much on board with taking you out at 7.
I have before Mads, I have a question. When did I flip for Boris?
In his boot.
Yes.
The what?
If I may, I just want to add on that. So to clarify that point. So the first red flag that I experienced with the alliance that we have. So for everyone's information, after the merge, I talked to everyone that I can talk to. That I know I can easily or I know we've been working with before. So with Leela, I specifically asked you if we can work together, and I know that you know how I've been very persistent about that. So when Boris was voted out, I was really blindsided by that because why? That was not the plan at all, and I was really hurt because you mentioned in our group chat that you were the one who voted for Boris, the one vote needed to take Boris out. That's why for that I think a lot of us realized how you're a very flexible player in that point that you're able to maneuver your way with other players that we weren't even able to connect with. After that, after that vote, we went on and we went on, and then I realized how you're still not sure with the alliance that I'm proposing to you. And when I realized that, I know that you're not that you have your own plan and I'm not a part of it. So I have to consider my gameplay on that part. I have to consider what I want for me and who are the people aligned with my plans for the game. And um, with the past blindsides on that, or with the past how do you call it, um, communications that we lost along the way, of course, I have to consider how we're going to work together moving forward. So that's why I was part of the vote out for you, because basically I realized how you're a flexible player and you have your own loyalties. And at the same time, how did it affect my gameplay? Oh, definitely it did, because I never planned to vote you out that early. But I had to, just to make sure that no Boris vote will be happening in front of me again.
Okay. So just to clarify, you're telling me that I voted for Boris. That
Yeah.
was that right? Was that right?
Sorry, are you asking me?
Yeah. Everyone from the
Yeah,
team.
I want to clarify that. Is it okay if I clarify that?
Wait. I'll tell my, because so I'm looking through my chats with James, and I know for a fact I never voted Boris out ever in the game, because he was really, so I don't know what's happened. I don't know who told you that I voted for Boris. I may have tried to blindside one of you. I don't really remember, but I never voted out Boris. So either someone did tell you that you're gonna Boris was voted out, or I don't know. I'm not sure. So go ahead, Jet.
Yeah, like I guess adding to this whole Boris discussion, I have to be honest because I see that Lila is taking a lot of heat for it. I was the one who voted for Boris, and my reasoning behind that was we were coming from the Chaos Alliance, and then there was this other group who was saying, "Oh, we should save Boris." But given that situation, I wanted to be loyal to the Chaos Alliance, and that's why I voted for Boris. So I guess just to clarify that. So I don't think Leela blindsided anyone. I think she just it parang people just assumed that she was the one who did it when in reality.
I guess it's a okay. I have a reply to that. I guess it's a matter of timing, because the thing what was happening was people were questioning Lila's loyalty because when Lauren's name was raised, she has mentioned to several people that she will never ever vote for Lauren, which I understand. I understand that people are, you are going to protect people at some point, right? And then the Boris vote happened. No one said anything. No one would admit to anything. But some people were whispering. Well, at least some people whispered to me that Leela was probably the one who did it. And
I got the
then
same whispers.
and
Yeah,
then after that, we were trying to put the target again on other people, and Lila was blocking it. Lila was because Lila was already starting to think about what it would look like to the jury if we vote another American. So I guess there was just miscommunication there. I believe, and I'm sorry if that's what happened. But yeah, just to explain what truly transpired.
Yeah, on my part, I want to apologize then, Leela, because I didn't know that it was Jet who actually flipped, and my vote wasn't even counted in that tribal council because Lauren stole it for herself, and she was the one who was instrumental as well in getting Boris out. So that's a game move for Lauren that I'm going to credit to her. So, I was really left in the dark when you think about that move. So I had to rely on other people's information, and that was the information that got to me. So I apologize, Leela, that you're taking the heat for that. You
Yeah.
didn't deserve that.
I'm
But
sorry. I mean, you have to understand also, Lila, that I was counting so many numbers because on one hand, we are counting the numbers, right? We are trying to look for the numbers, and on the other hand, Garrett is telling me that the numbers don't add up. Those are the times where I don't know how to get away from it. The only thing that I had to explain is that, well, Lauren stole one vote, so that fucks up the math. That's all the argument that I can make,
It
and people
couldn't
just
add up. It
accepted
couldn't
it.
add up.
And I was like, okay, let's go. So yeah, I guess there was so much confusion. I'm sorry if you were painted that way, but I guess that is all our faults because we didn't communicate too well.
Okay. So for my second question, it will be very quick. Without any reason, for each one of you, tell me who you think will vote for you for tribal. Without just give the names. So let's start with Rain.
Anthony, Garrett, Gage, Karen, Lauren, Leela, Jet, Boris, Lee, Missy.
San.
I don't know. I honestly can't give you an answer, but I'd like to think that the people I actually had relationships with, like Garrett and Gage and Karen and Jet, Boris, would at least consider it.
Okay. And Mads.
Same. I'm not really sure, but I think the people I'm most connected with from the jury would be Karen and Lila.
So that's it. Good game, everyone.
Thanks, Leela.
Thanks, Leela.
Okay, I just gotta say something quickly. Look, final three people, look at the jury. Do any of them look interested? Not really. Bring some energy. Rain's the only one bringing a little energy. Stan, Mads, you better pick it up. Because you're boring all of us. Bring some damn energy.
I feel like Stan has tried to bring some energy too, and I think Matt's been trying to. I think she's just a quiet person. Like, I'm fine with how they're talking. Like, come on.
Okay, guys. We're now going to proceed to our next member of the jury. Now have Karen.
Hello.
Hi,
So-
Karen.
So guys, that last question of Leela really interests me because all of you are assuming that I'm gonna vote for you. Like that really speaks of how I feel connected with each one of you, starting from you, Mads. Like I know you admitted it that you napped like yesterday, but when we talk, like I kind of feel that same vibe with you. That's why I was really immediately drawn to you. And what's really good about your gameplay is that I'm taking the heat like what you did because you initiated an all Filipino alliance, which is PBB, and yet all these Americans are pinning it to me, and I'm getting all these hits. So I kind of applaud you to that, and I think that's a great gameplay because you used me as, I don't know, like a meat shield or what, and I didn't actually take it against you. Like you did a great job in that. Stan, you really know how I feel about you like since the beginning, and we really grew close to each other during this game. But I have a big problem with you coming into this final tribal council because hearing your opening speech, I feel like um we didn't have a relationship at all. Like I feel like I was just used as a number by you, and I don't know why are you feeling so proud about the mutiny advantage that you never like got in the first place. Like someone got it and then you just use it. Like I don't know why you feel so proud about that. And with you not telling me about like your advantage of that um like the after vote, like I really didn't, like I didn't even talk to you about it, and I let it pass because I really, grew close to you. I trust you because I even told my exit confessional that you and Rain, you really protected me, and I feel like you guys have stuck you're next out there for me. Like you protected me as long as you can, and Stan, you know that I gave you permission, like if you have like a path that you see towards the end, if and I'm not included in that, like just feel free to make a move. But then you chose to stab me in the back, and that's what's my problem with you. Because if Rain has been in your position, like Rain would stab me in the front, and I would have respected that because that's Rain, and I like you've done like enough to protect me all throughout this game until final five. And what really bothers me is that you chose to do that when you could have just, you know, come to me. And like Karen, like I know you gave me permission to do this, and like hey, I'm doing it, and I hope that you won't take it against me, because I even told the jury that I will not, because I gave you permission in that. And Rain, thank you for like everything you did for me in this game. Like the moment that, sorry, I really got emotional because of everything that's happening. Thank you for everything that you did to me in this game, because the moment that we have that what you call that team switch, I immediately ran to you and told you that Rain, Boris, and I are really at the bottom of that tribe, and you did your part in like selling us out to like Garrett and then Gage, and that opened a leeway for us for to like sell ourselves come to the merge. But I was just sad that it didn't work out. And thank you for sticking with me like till the end. Have I made it to the final three? I'm really like fulfilled and happy that if I will lost to you, because you're like a friend to me in this game. We know outside we know each other outside of this game, but you know me, like I don't use friendship card in this game. I even told you that if um you can make a move like in final 8 or final 7, but just let me in the final 6, and then we can turn on each other in the final 6. Yet you never did, because you want to give this season a deserving final 3. So that's just it. I don't need any words from you guys. Like I just have to let it all out, and I appreciate like everything that you did to me in this game, and know that you will all be my friends like after this season. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you, Karen.
So we can't reply, Karen. Char.
I would apologize if you'd let me.
All right, thank you so much, Karen. Now it is time for Lauren.
What's up, Final Three?
Hey, Lauren.
I will go ahead and say congrats for making it there. Basically, I'm just going to make this statement real quick, and then I do actually have a question. My statement is going to be, I'm not going to lie, it's been like watching paint dry these past few tribal councils, and it's kind of cringeworthy. Boring as hell, and I don't like to be bored. So we're going to spice it up a little bit. I want each of you to tell me why the other two people's games suck more than yours.
No, I just want to say that I totally agree with what you're saying. If I'm going to watch this, I totally agree. Why does Mad's game suck more than mine?
Yes.
Mad's pretty much engineered for me to get here by basically saying yes to everything that I said. Remember the challenge in the Oreo when I had an advantage? That came from Mad's. And Mad slept. I didn't. I tried to take in like 6-7 cups of coffee. I mean, if you're going to penalize her for sleeping, I tried to be as perky as I can in whatever way possible. So just for the energy and to make sure that each and everything that Mads did up to a certain point was pretty much in my control, I am better than her. With regards to Stan, it's now come to my attention that he had so many moments to take me out. And he knows about the things that I have up my sleeve. My idols, my numbers, my alliances. I mean, I've been very open with him. Of course, there are some things that I kept from him. And yet, I was there as a huge target and he didn't do anything about it. That is a testament of my game and how much he sucks. I'm sorry, Stan. Because he could have done it. He could have did me in. But he didn't. So yeah, just by those two standards alone, yeah, I think I'm a better player than those two. But I love them. I love Mads and Stan so much. I just had to say it, Lauren. Sorry. Thank you.
Hello, Lauren. Um, for that, I mean, thank you for spicing it up this morning. Like it's still night for us, but anyway, I think the why the other two players game suck more than mine. First, for let's say for Rain, actually she's taking the credit for the vote that I always pitch. I always pitch for the votes that go along. Why? Because well, I'm pretty new here. I don't have anything I carry with me. I don't have any reputation that I carry with me. So I enjoy the game. I enjoyed every vote. And whatever happened, it happened. And I do what I want to do as I want it. Um, and the point that at some tribal council she was asking me, so Mads, are we going to go with this? And that means that I no, I'm not entirely I'm not playing what you want me to play, but I'm playing for my own, and you're a part of it because I want you to be a part of it, not because you want me to be a part of it, or maybe you also consider me. At the same time, she's playing a dominant game to the point that everyone sees it, but I don't need to do that. I learned my lessons from the past games that I played, and I don't want to put the target on my back with the from the people that I don't want to see me. So I'm making myself sure that the only people who sees my gameplay are the people I work with, the alliances that I formed, and the people that I'm here right now. Um, and for Stan, to be honest, hi Stan, we really didn't get to talk until we had to talk during the final four or and the final three. That I think that's the only recollection I have that we actually discussed gameplay, even when I reached out to you before. So for me, I when people reach out to me, I really try to maneuver how we're going to work together, even if the time is really pressed, or if I'm also pressured to adjust because of a lot of different ways that we can work on with the game.
I'm gonna start with Mads, and she always said that she was really sleepy and that she felt out of it, and it gave off a sense of a lack of urgency and a lack of agency in this game. And on that note alone, I think that her game sucks more than mine because I didn't really feel like she took matters into her own hands. She didn't want to be here at Final Tribal Council. I took her here. She wanted me to vote for her, take her out. I made the conscious decision to keep her here because I wanted her as an opponent that I could beat. So that alone should tell you about how my game trumps hers. As for, I hated using that word, by the way. As for Rain, Rain sells you the illusion of control, that she was the dominant force of this game. But to be that dominant, you had to have somebody who was calming you behind the scenes, someone who was telling you that these were ultimately the right moves. Rain couldn't have pulled all those moves all by herself. Those ideas didn't just come from her. That was a game move, or those were game moves that she and I worked on together. And a lot of times I was the one floating these ideas to her. She would approve it, or if it was the other way around, I would be the one to say, you'd probably be better off doing this or doing that. So you can't give off that illusion of dominance and control without a steadying force to right the ship. And for all the alliances that Rain and I were a part of, I was the one checking on everyone, asking if everybody was still okay. Even outside of the actual time we spent on Zoom, I was still checking in on our allies, making sure that those one-on-one relationships were cultivated, making sure I had that connection with Garrett, that I had that connection with Gage, that I had that connection with Karen. I was checking in on Jet. I was checking in on Mads to see if we were all still on the same page. I was checking in on Boris, even when Boris was, had just woken up and wasn't ready to talk game yet. So you can't put all of that together and just attribute it to one person, because it had to have some input on my end, and that's where I believe that my input supersedes hers.
But you make it sound like that I didn't play the social game. Like, did you know that Garrett's grandfather is Italian, that he played the drums? Those are the things that you need to know when you really wanted to get to know the person that you're playing with. I mean, among all of the people here, I know that Missy had you have a menagerie of animals, all of them rescued except for the two rabbits. The only person that I didn't really talk to on a personal level was Anthony because we were never in the same tribe, and Lee, and Lauren because I was very intimidated by her. but but I guess I just want to say that I really did make that effort to know people as
Can I
well.
can you just clarify something with Stan saying that he was checking in on me and I was not ready? We still talk stuff because I woke up. Actually, Stan, it was more of responsive on your part. It was me who was initiating our conversations and greetings. Thank you.
I will also say, just to kind of talk on Stan and Rain's thing, since I was kind of somebody who's close to both of them. I do
Garrett,
think
your
once the
audio
game
is
started-
kinda weak.
Oh, let me go somewhere really quick and fix it. Sorry about that.
Sorry, I'm
Lauren, take-
hungry.
All right. Is this better?
Yeah.
But yeah, just to speak on that though, I will say, as far as the social game that was doing more work, at least with me, come the merge, it was Stans. Because even though Rain made this connection, we had a good personal connection. We knew, Gage and I had pieced enough things together overnight that we just knew we couldn't long-term work with Rain where we thought we could with Stan, and he was still checking it. So that is a point to Stan, on my part at least.
Yeah.
I have to ask, what is intimidating about me?
I don't know because it is a personal thing, Lauren. It's not an issue about you. It is an issue with me. That is something that I am working on. Well, Karen knows this because I know her from outside. I mean, I'm not sure if I guess a lot of you are know about it or probably are asking about it. I am transitioning. I am transitioning. I was born physically a man, and then I'm transitioning. So that means I there are certain aspects of my femininity that I find so much insecurity about. So yeah, whenever I see strong, confident women, I get intimidated. That's why I was so very happy when Kristen made an alliance with me, and she was like, "Girl, I like you, let's go." And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." I was like, "Who do you want in?" She asked me. I said, "Garrett and Gage." And then I see Lauren, and she speaks so well, and she seems like built, and she's pretty, and it intimidates people like me. And that's not an issue on you. That's an issue on me. That's something that I really am trying to work on. Thank you.
I appreciate your answer. Thank you. That's all I have.
Okay.
Rain, what more if you have Lauren on your original tribe?
Yeah,
Like
I would be probably be intimidated because because there is also a language thing. You have to understand that we are different nationalities and we are speaking a language that isn't ours. So I studied English in college, but I find I stutter. I can't. I'm not as eloquent as I thought that I was. So yeah, it's really intimidating. So I just give off this, I don't know, goofy energy. I smile and I wink and whatever, because that's the only way that I can hide my insecurities. Because in this game, you show your insecurity, you're dead. You show your insecurity, people are gonna control you. So yeah, I'm gonna wear like heavy makeup or like dark lip for today because I just want to show you that this is me trying to protect my own insecurities so you don't get to target me, because I know I will appear weak at some point, and this is a cruel game that sometimes you see a weakness on another person, you prey on that and you bank on that and you use that to take them out. I didn't want to show any of that. That's why if you are going to look at our conversation, Lauren, there wasn't really much there. And I really wanted just to say that to explain why there wasn't there between us. Yeah, that's why I have to go back to that moment when Kristen told me that I like you, let's make an alliance. I was like so ecstatic and happy, and she asked me, "Who do you want?" I said Garrett immediately, and then she said, "Okay, I like Gage." And then I added, "How about Stan?" I said, because I had to put a Filipino there somehow. And then yeah, I was like happy. I felt like I belonged. So yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just digressing, but thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Lauren, for that. Next up, we go to Jet.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, Jet.
Hi, Jet.
Hello. So yeah, I think it was brought to light how I didn't make as many connections with the people in this game, and yeah, I recognize that mistake in the sense that um, I was a bit overwhelmed in having to manage so many different relationships. But given that, I'd actually have to say that the three of you were um, what was some of the main people that I actually talked to, and I actually had a sense of trust, or I felt like I could really bank on in terms of getting through the game and really building relationships. With that being said, I guess just with a quick yes or no, um, I guess I would want you to answer. Did you, in the course of the entire game, did you ever lie or deceive me for your own benefit? For your own benefit.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Right? And then second, did you keep me until, well, this one you could explain. Did you keep me until the end because I knew I wasn't a threat or I was disposable in some way?
I'm gonna start, if that's okay. I kept you around because you were somebody that I knew was malleable enough to want to work with me and to do the things that I needed to do to get to this point. I mentioned trying to get Rain out when I knew that I didn't have as many opportunities left, and I really wanted to take that shot at 5 and then at 4, most especially. So that was when I knew that I really had to put matters into my own hands with you and Mads. So I needed you, and I'm gonna acknowledge that, and that's why I didn't get rid of you when we got rid of Karen, for example, at 5.
Okay. I'd like to go.
Okay.
Alright. So actually, I reached out to Jet a lot of times. Before we even voted for Lauren and Gage, because we're really trying to work on something that would benefit us all. But the point is, I think the reason why I had to let you go was you never. I don't feel that you agree with the things that I'm proposing for you. I'm proposing to work with Lauren and to work with Gage, with Leela. But right before the time for the tribal, I wasn't able to get a response. So I had to just make a quick decision. But to be honest, if we can, if that's something that I would change, because that would be something that would give a lot of consequences for your game, for my game, and even for other players that we want to work with. That would have made a lot of things different. So if there's something I could redo, um, it would be working with you and the people that we hope to work with from that point in the game.
Jet, here's the thing. I understand that this game is very strategic and cutthroat and all of that. But of course, you cannot go through this game without humanity. The reason that you are and I went together until the end, because if I want you to look behind you,
Yeah.
I want you to look at that rainbow heart behind you, and I want you to look at this flag that I have behind me. Of course, there's a level of humanity there. I saw you, I know I could trust you, I know that you could understand my story, and I will understand your story. So there is, sometimes you just have to find a common ground. And every time that we go tribal council, after tribal council, I always go to you and ask you where your head is at. What are your plans going forward? And these are my plans. That is how we do things. You got to the end because you are my ally in and out of the game. That's all I have to say about that. But the reason why I decided to target you at some point was I was looking at the permutations at the final 5. I knew I had a game good case to here, the final 3. The only thing that's stopping me is you. because you are the only person who is very, very close to beating me in the challenges. That's pretty much it. I needed to get here on. I said it on a couple of tribal councils before. I needed to get here on immunity challenges because I knew I am a threat, and you are the only one who's gonna stop me. That's why when I was gonna write your name, I pretty much told you it was gonna
Yeah.
happen, because I felt like you deserve that after everything that we've been through. So no, you're not here because I could use you. You got to the final five because we are allies, but I had to cut you because you became a threat. Thank you, Jet.
Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much, Jet. We now go to Gage.
All right, let's wrap this shit up. Stan, I'm curious about, other than your mutiny or your advantage play, what was a move that you did successfully that did not involve Rain?
That did not involve Rain?
That did not
Right.
depend on Rain.
Okay, yeah, sure. First off, I'm gonna acknowledge something that the jury pointed out earlier, and that was that the mutiny advantage wasn't mine. It wasn't. And when James offered it up, I just took the opportunity. And I think that just demonstrated agency on my part. The moves that didn't depend on Rain were Karen's boot, because Rain was totally left out of that. And that was something I orchestrated alongside Jet and alongside Mads. And I hated doing that to Karen. So I just want to apologize again for that, because I didn't intend to hurt your feelings in doing so. I just needed to get you out to get myself ahead.
Yeah, I understand that move. Like totally. Like I told you that if there's a path for you in the final three that doesn't involve me, like just you're free to do that. And I know that you and I will be friends like outside this game, you know that, right?
I was banking on the relationship we built inside the game so that I can have the opportunity to apologize even outside. But since we're here, we're talking about it, I'm taking that opportunity. And getting myself here after 4 was a move that did not depend on Rain, because I knew where she was voting. She was voting for me. I knew where Mads was voting and what her intentions were. So I knew where Jet was voting as well, because I told Jet where to vote. I told him to vote for Mads, and I was saying, we got each other this far, we have to take Mads out. And I told Mads the same thing. And that's when I knew exactly where all the votes were going, those final 2 votes. And I directed those, and I got myself to this seat on my own.
Which ironically benefited me, because at the end of the day, I really don't know how to dispose Karen. Thank you for doing that for me. Because the thing is, she has the best resume among the 5 of us. And by voting her out, you take out just probably the person who will beat me. And at the same time, you made Jack salty. I don't, because it wasn't really necessary, I guess. But I told Jet about what's gonna happen. But yeah, I mean, I have to give credit to Stan that I really didn't know about those 2 votes. Yeah, but I wasn't really like salty about it, because it kind of did help me.
Well, Stan, I told you countless times that if you were in the final 3 with Rain, you would not get my vote. And I think I'm going to stick with my word for that. Rain, my question's kind of just self-indulgent, to be honest. I'm really curious about when Garrett, you, and I formed the final 3.
Mm-hmm.
Were you from the big, I'm curious at what point did you decide that you weren't going to stick with us? Or I'm curious really, did you have intention from the beginning to actually go to the end with us? And when did that change, if so?
All right, those were the 2 big alliances that I was really a part of, the Eye of the Storm and the Filipino Alliance. To be honest with you, the point where I knew what was gonna happen was when I was telling Garrett, we had this conversation. I was telling Garrett let's just vote out Lee. Because, we had a big, we had something. So I told Garrett, just let me have this 1 win, give me peace of mind, because nothing personal against Lee, but it will make me focused on the game. But Garrett wouldn't budge. which makes me feel like, okay, Garrett and Gage are people that are probably gonna dump me at some point, are not gonna listen to my thoughts and ideas. So that means I had to shift. But at the same time, I have been thinking about how to have a plan B just in case, because going with all Filipino means I am the biggest threat. Because I had you guys as shields in many ways, because people see you as bigger threats than I am. But going now with the Filipinos exposes me as the biggest threat. So of course I was trying to save you, Gage, because I needed to cut Garrett because he was like just too good. And I was sounding off ideas with Garrett, and he was like, yeah, how about this? I'm like, oh, girl. So I knew I needed to save you for as long as I can. So yeah,
All right.
that's where my decision was.
Fair. I just want to say you played a hell of a game.
Thank you, Gage.
Of course.
All right. Is that the? Are you gonna say anything to Mads? No.
She didn't say much to me during the game. Like Mads, you're so sweet. You're great. I love your cactus. But like, I don't have any questions. I'm sorry.
No,
She said something to you.
Okay. Thank you, jury, so much for all of the things that you have to say or ask. Now we go to closing statements. This is your final chance, final three, to convince the jury to vote for you to win this season. So please keep it short and concise. And we will start with Mads.
Okay, first, I don't want to ask for your votes, but what I want is to explain how I think I was able to get here. First, I did not plan to be in the final tribal council. What I plan is to make sure that the people I'm working with, or one of us, will be able to get here, no matter what may happen, whatever outcome it will be. That's the gameplay that I played. I did not play a dominant game, I know, and that was intentional. I also did not play. I also made sure that whatever I'm doing will be not heard by the people who are not part of it. If there's one thing that I want to change in my gameplay, it would be about getting to know more the people that I wasn't able to work with personally, because I think the connections that we formed from the game would be the only thing that's really that will materialize after a crazy game that we all played. So I'm actually excited to end this game just so I can focus on what I really want, which is to connect with the players I played with, get to know more about the players, the castaways who made this season amazing and hell of a crazy show. And beyond that, I'm really thankful and humbled by just being able to be part of this Zoomvivor 4 season 4 family. So thank you for the experience that we had. And I'm not gonna change my gameplay if you're going to ask me if there's anything that I want to change. But what I really want is to cherish the chance to be playing with all of you.
All right, Rain.
Yeah, I just want to say that if I make it look easy, I just want to say it wasn't. You guys made it hard for me. I just want to put it out there. It was really, really difficult. Each and every move I saw opposition. There was not an easy vote. So I just want to just, put it out there. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for, making this game fun. And if I hurt your feelings or if I offended you, I want to say sorry. I didn't mean it, but I just had to put it out there. And I'm just hoping that after all of this, we can have a reunion and laugh about it, because I really did have fun, and I met interesting and amazing people, and I'm really fun. I am at 8 1:30 in the morning with no sleep. I really am like this high energy, I guess. But yeah, thank you. I'm just happy that it's over, and I'm just happy. Thank you.
It's done.
Yeah, I came into this game wanting to consciously not be a threat, wanting to consciously only take control when it mattered at the end. And those are the things I'm proud of. I'm going to own my game, warts and all, consequences and all. And I'm very self-aware about where I sit, and I acknowledge how hard it is to get here and everything that everyone has said. And I know that I didn't play perfectly, and I want to apologize for the people that I hurt. I want to apologize for the things that I said that step on people's toes. And I also just want to thank everyone, even though Lee doesn't want us to thank people, because it does mean a lot to get here. So thank you all for being part of this experience with us.
All right. Thank you so much, Final 3. Now, the power shifts to you, jury. You have now the power to vote for a winner for this season of Zoomvivor Anarchy. Alright, so again, you're voting for a winner. So to the final 3, good luck once again. And please, jury, it is now time to vote. Good luck.